Good evening, everybody. It's my great pleasure to be with you this evening to discuss about the impact of war on the environment. We can say the global ecosystem. If we just recap or just try to see the past as human civilization has been plagued by conflicts and war since the beginning of time. Its character has been changing with the development of civilization. There are some conflicts that are confined to one state only, which can be called internal conflicts, while there are some interstate conflicts. According to statistics, more than 3 times as many people have died in internal conflicts since World War II as in international conflicts. Internal conflict can again be of two types, like civil war against the state from which terrorism arises, and another conflict between different ethnic groups or classes within the state. In this case, of course, most of the players are from outside the state. There are also some ethnic and religious conflicts or conflicts over land claims. If we consider South Asia, like many other parts of the world, has interstate and interstate conflicts, and its evils are affecting the environment. In most cases, internal conflicts are not confined to a particular state or region, and conflicts in neighboring countries often cause great damage to the environment of adjacent country. If we see the Rohingya issue, millions of people fled to Bangladesh to save their lives due to the killing of Rohingya in Myanmar. According to a study, about 4,000 acres of hills have already been cut down to make way for camps for Rohingya refugees entering Bangladesh. And the amount of occupied land around it is about 10,000 acres. It is estimated that these refugees in the camps need about 50,000 kilograms of firewood per day for different activities, including cooking. These firewoods are extracted from the surrounding forests, resulting in rapid deforestation. And the destruction of these forests is associated with the extinction of different species of animals, also flora. India and Pakistan, two countries in this region, meaning South Asia, that possess nuclear weapons, have frequent conflicts. As a result, the human and natural environment of the region is always under threat. Even the list of casualties caused by the counterattack between two states is quite long. A review of the wars that have taken place around the world shows that occupation of resources, establishment of ethnic authority, expansion of power are the main causes of wars and conflicts. To control them, the causes of nature of conflicts or wars are changing with time, as are the types of weapons used. The survival, development, and empowerment of a nation depends on the resources acquired by the country and nation concerned and the nature of the main source of these resources. Different wars, histories, and casualties show that various lethal chemicals have been used in warfare. Just as these chemicals have caused many deaths instantly, their entry into the ecosystem and food chain has led to the death of organisms year after year, causing a variety of deadly diseases. Data also show that about 125,000 tons of chemicals were used in the First World War and about 96,000 tons in the Vietnam War. Organophosphorus, as known as the NARC gas, also we call it organophosphorus anticholinesterase, was a chemical overdose that caused the death of many animals, including humans. The incidents in Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945, if we just look back, the explosion atomic bomb killed 80,000 people instantly, and the aftermath is still visible in the ecosystem of the concerned locality. The end of World War II marked the end of the atomic bomb, but even more fierce competition for nuclear weapons began between the world's richest and most powerful nations. In particular, in the context of the World War and the geopolitical context, if we see the lack of international disarmament policy, powerful countries such as United States, Soviet Russia, then Soviet Russia, the United Kingdom, France, and China became nuclear powers between 1954 and 1974. During this time, a large number of nuclear tests were carried out in the atmosphere, underground, and underwater. In 1954, the United States detonated the first atomic hydrogen bomb in the Marshall Islands. Subsequently, then Soviet Russia, conducted a similar experiment in 1974, and Novaya Zemlya Island, north of the Ural Mountains. This causes extensive damage to the environment and is said to be the source of the greatest damage to the atmosphere. In the same way, the arena of global cooperation for the elimination of nuclear weapons tests to protect against the horrors of the atomic bomb is created, but it is less than the match of the powerful countries. 25% of nuclear tests conducted in water, land, and space were conducted in the atmosphere, some in deep seas, and 75% in the subsoil, mainly by nuclear powers. Only 0.3% of nuclear tests are conducted from India, Pakistan, and North Korea. If we look back from 1945 to 1973, about 72% of the nuclear tests conducted in the atmosphere or conducted by the United States. And from 1951 to 1992, 6% of the nuclear tests were conducted underground. These nuclear weapons tests are essentially anti-war sentiments on the part of the states, and there is widespread concern that the war could lead to a massive loss of life and damage to the environment. Human health is under constant threat due to nuclear tests. Nuclear radioactivity increases the risk of thyroid cancer, papillary thyroid, we can also say. And the studies in the United States have shown this kind of result. There are always wars going on around the world, and these wars mean the use of different types of weapons, war or peace. In any case, the production and maintenance of weapons is a casual affair, and the armed forces of the countries it maintain it in need of state security. The use of weapons is also often seen to cause extensive damage to the environment due to internal conflicts within the state. That includes deforestation, air pollution through the fire connection, and different other activities. There is a war going on between Russia and Ukraine, and there is no certainty as to when this war will end. We never know how much a country has invaded in a war, or how far it has gone, or how much it has fallen behind. In this war, millions of people have been displaced and left the country. During the war, a big question arises, for good reason. In the war, the people of Ukraine are trying to save themselves. But what about the other species of plants and animals? Do they have the right to survive? Who will take care of them? When millions of Ukrainians have taken refuge in different parts of the world, where will the other animals go or take refuge? Do they have mortality to other places? The Russians have animosity towards the Ukrainians or vice versa. Do they have any problems with the plants and animals of Ukraine? Animals that cannot speak, including plants, are bearing the brunt of everywhere on the earth. Many species are becoming extinct forever as they cannot survive in such polluted environment. Recently, United Nations member states participating in a inaugural session of the UN Environment Council on the Russia-Ukraine crisis have expressed concern over the environmental impact of this war. This war is undoubtedly affecting humanity, biodiversity, marine life. Conflicts are causing environmental catastrophe, irreparable damage to the ecosystem, and the issue is also a source of concern for top policymakers. Many leaders at the fifth session of the United Nations Environment Assembly in the Kenyan capital, Nairobi, have expressed concern and condemned the environmental catastrophe caused by the Russia-Ukraine war. However, such condemnation expressing concern did not stop the war anywhere. On the contrary, day by day, it seems that new countries are getting involved in this conflict. If this continues, global conflict will spread, the use of weapons will increase, and our living environment will become poisonous. Crisis in environments will be a threat to the existence of present or future two generations. So we have to keep in mind that we are being driven to war by imperialism and egoism. In fact, it is the cause of our destruction. Now, we have to choose which we like, war or peace. If we stop war, that will help to sustain the existing ecosystem. So let's go for peace, stop fighting each other, and let this Mother Earth survive in a good manner. Thanks, everybody. We are um, having this crisis, the global crisis, and we have to go forward to save the Mother Earth. And we have to keep up the living biota for our sustenance, and let's say SOS from Mother Earth.